title says, I'm going to try to get this thing mostly back together again. Now, the one thing I wanted to do before I did finish things up was I wanted to make sure that the clock mechanism still works. This is a Telecron movement, and there's not much to them. This little drum in here, that's the rotor. It's essentially is a motor, and it's driven off of a 60 cycle basic motor here. And they're pretty accurate. I've got a few in my house that tell perfect time. But I want to make sure it still is active, because if it's not, if the motor's seized, it's not going to do anything. And so I'm going to give it a test. And by the way, don't do anything that you're about to see on this channel, because I am a unqualified, non-engineering person. So let me plug it in. Clock runs on just direct 120 volts. So you folks in Europe would be out of luck on these things. Which makes sense. They probably never sold Zeniths in Europe anyway. It does work, and it's quiet, which is what I wanted. So what I'm looking for, and what I'm listening for, is the clock secondhand sweeping, and that there is no grinding or horrible buzzing noises. It's just being such a pain in the butt. Whenever I start filming, things start to go awry. Okay, I'm not sure if you see this in the video, but this second hand is very gently sweeping. It's okay to hear just a little hum. You'll hear a tiny bit of AC hum because this is a metal clock movement in a hard plastic case. So it's going to amplify whatever. And all I hear is quiet AC hum with a good sweeping second movement. And let me see if you can change the time. Before I do that, I'm going to disconnect the power. I should be able to change the time from the back. Yep, you can. That's perfectly fine. And here's the thing. If your clock movement works perfectly fine, resist the urge to oil it, because it's probably going to work fine. If you start putting oil on it, it's going to attract dust and dirt. And it was pretty dirty in here. So now that the clock is known to be working, I can go ahead and reinstall the chassis. And first thing I'm going to do is hook up the speaker wiring. Then I'm going to install the pilot light, which goes here. Okay, that is there. You want to make sure that everyone can see that neon bulb up there. Now, I know you can't see anything in here because this is a black cabinet. Alright, so the chassis is now installed, and I want to make sure that my hookup wires are here for my back, because that's critical. This is my ground. Ground goes here. If you don't connect this, the radio just won't work. And I found that out the hard way and scratched my head for a really long time trying to figure that one out. And it turned out it was me being stupid and not thinking about how the clock was the way the radio got turned off and on. And get the mounting screws for the chassis to make sure that's good and secure. Sometimes you can just kind of look at it from underneath and align your holes. It has these nylon mounts for your screws so that if the user touches these screws, you're not going to get shocked. That's another thing I've noticed. You know, I do sing the praises about Zenith, but they were very good at safety too. If they had a hot chassis set, they made for damn sure you were not going to be able to touch it very easily at all, especially not a consumer. And they were an interesting company. They were insistent on using direct point-to-point wiring on everything way up into the 70s, especially when it comes to tube-powered equipment, because tube-powered equipment gets really hot. It's hell on PC boards. So I kind of put the screws to hold it in place, but sometimes what I want to do is make sure that the knobs are going to align. I'm trying to remember, does one of these have a little notch in it to indicate something? No, there's only two choices here. There's AM and FM, and you'll know because one will be AM and one will be FM. This is the volume or tuning. I can't remember. Yeah, it's volume, and that's volume. This is tuning. And when I put the indicator back on, the indicator will be completely bottom lined like that. Okay, it should bottom line both ways. It does. Okay, so that's good. I'll make sure that it's proper. Let's see, does everything turn easily? Yes, it does. So I can tighten the screws the rest of the way. Sometimes I'll just lean it out over an edge a little bit so I can tighten the screws from underneath to make sure it doesn't move. If you got the nylon mounts, don't crank it down too much because you'll strip them out very easily. So it's kind of critical. You observe that. Okay, so the set is reinstalled, chassis reinstalled. Yeah, the other thing I did yesterday was I had a chunk missing out of it in the back, so I used some epoxy, and it doesn't look very good now, but what I'm going to do is sand it down smooth and then put some black shiny paint on it. Probably no one will even notice it because it's in the back. This thing was in the storage container at our museum. It's been sitting in there for a few years. I think it was in such rotten shape, none of us really wanted to work on it. So let me go ahead and get the back over here.
Get that blade away from the camera.
That's not me, that's my wife, and she always likes to put in the silly little bird in the video, but okay, so this is the back, and I had to do some repair work on the back. It was missing these ears. They've been chewed off, and what I did is I had the sheets of phenolic plastic. So I cut out new pieces and glued them on the back here yesterday. What I also did is I drilled holes. So I put this back on the back. I'll secure the back, and it'll prevent anyone from touching the chassis. But before I do that, last night before I stopped doing the episode, I put this cord on this thing. And when I plugged it into my Variac initially, I thought, well, that seems like it's making a weird sizzling noise, but oh well, the radio's working. And then I pulled the plug out. I was like, boy, it sure seems awful funny. It seems like something's very much wrong with the plug. And I can't find it because obviously it's covered up with more garbage. I threw the plug away, but long story short, one of the slots had worked itself loose, so I had to take the plug end off. But I found this chunky old guy, so I can reuse the cord. There's nothing wrong with the cord. It's just someone got a little bit too crazy with the old plug on it. Come on, it's not going to fit through there. Yeah, well, it's just tight. Show you a little trick that I use. If you want to make sure that your wire doesn't come unfrayed when you're putting it onto the lugs of the plug, you can wet the tips a little bit. Like so. All right. I can wrap it around these lugs and it'll be good and snug and won't come loose or anything. Kind of unforgiving plug design, to tell you the truth. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can use this plug. I'm going to have to find something else. It's not going to work with this really thick wire. All right, let's see what else I got. Oh, that's a nice one. That'll work better. Yeah, this is an attractive looking plug, actually. Oh yeah, it's much better. All right. There we are. Nice new plug. Well, not new, but nice old school plug. Let me see if I can go ahead and wire this bad boy up. See if this is safe enough. I just had to re-glue it because it came loose. I'm hoping I just glue it in place and it'll stay. Bolt it in place and it'll stay. Jack this up here. Okay, I marked everything. Attach this first. Okay, that's the ground. chassis. Just connect these wires as I marked them. Whoops, turn it around. Not easy. That's one. Let's see. Brown goes here. Okay. That's the last one. This is going to be a big pain in the butt. It's the ground. All right. All right. So that, I believe, is everything. So let's go ahead and put this bad boy back together again. Whoops. Actually, I need to mount the switch for the turning the radio signal off and on first. Clamp this back in while I'm getting my drill. Okay. Oops. Just about lost it. Okay. So get everything lined up. Put this in my lap. Okay. Looks like I was close, but no cigar on the fit here, but that's okay. I think what I'm going to do is rearrange some things on this. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to have to reset this on the fly repair. Oh, shit. All right. Let's give her a test fire. I'm going to do some more to that back. That's not totally right, and I know it, so I'll have to take that back off probably after I get through filming this. Okay. Okay, then we got radio. I'm not sure if it's on radio or if it's on audio input.
That means the companies that own those wells have to plug them. Let's just say honored in the breach, and today has one inspector for
Democrat.
Looks like
All the time.
All right, now for the little trick that this thing can do. It's got a Bluetooth thingy, so I can come in here and switch it over. I don't know what that is.
You could be my silver spring, blue green colors flashing. I would be your only dream to shine.
I've been drinking muddy water, sleeping in a hollow log. I've been drinking mud.
All right, it seems to be working pretty well. Granted, there's a few more little things I want to do. Maybe I want to wax it a little bit more. What do we got on time here? About 30 minutes. Probably going to wrap things up a little bit earlier today. I've got a few other little chores that I need to do radio-wise, but they're pretty boring chores. I've got some radios and I need to put some GFCI plugs on, amongst other things. Anyhow, I guess this guy's pretty much ready to go. And this will be back at the museum, probably on a shelf in the store. We have a museum store. So someone can come in and try this guy out, and if they like it or not, they can buy it from us. And all the money goes to the museum and keeping the lights on, buying more radio parts, whatnot. So anyway, y'all have a great evening or morning or afternoon or whatever time of day it happens to be when you're watching it and where you're watching it. And y'all take care and have a great evening. Keep on saying that. It's evening here. You know what I mean. All right, see ya.